lots of feedback from all of you. We have added top producing loan officer interviews to this call. We're doing the Housing Wire thing about once a month right now. So this week we have the famous Samantha Daly coming in hot from Highlands Ranch, California, Colorado. That is just south of Denver. Sam is very interesting. We're going to let her start talking in a second. She does about half her business in what I call Denver Metro, and she does the other half in Summit County. For those of you that are skiers or know the area, that is where Breckenridge is, and there's many other resorts in that county as well. Sam is a big skier and has had property in Breckenridge for a long time. So she's built her business in two places. They're about a little bit more than an hour apart. I did the ride once with Sam, and I got to be honest, she scared the heck out of me. So it's probably really not an hour. It's probably more like an hour and a half for normal people. But the markets aren't next to each other, but they're very interesting, very unique, and extremely different, especially through COVID. So I'm going to ask Sam a little bit about that as well. Sam is with CMG. Those of you that don't know, CMG is a large national banker. They are not a bank, they're a mortgage banker. And Sam has been there for, is it 3 years now, Sam, or is it even more?
3.5.
3.5 years. Sam did 200 plus units last year. Heavy purchase, works what we call, or what you all know that know me, a JOEL plan. Those of you that are in VIP one-on-one with me, if you've been to a mastermind group in New Orleans, well, then you really know Sam. Turn up the tunes, right, Mike Ullman? Where are the tunes? Where are the tunes?
The jams. Okay. Put on the jams.
Yeah, the jams, exactly. So Sam, I just want to start by asking you, because I like to ask every loan officer on here right now, because it's the question of the day. Talk about inventory just for a minute. You have two issues. You obviously have Summit County, and then you have right where you roll, which is suburban Denver, or just south of Denver. And tell me, how is inventory there? Are listings starting to come on the market? How are you interacting with your agents around inventory? What are you doing different in your business to support your agent partners regarding the fact that there's very little inventory on the market?
Sure. So Denver Metro, I just heard the stat yesterday. There's about 2,000 homes on the market in Denver Metro, and there should be 10,000 plus. So there is no inventory. It is really, really hard for especially first-time home buyers to be able to even get into the market, but we're experiencing that everywhere, right? The best thing that I can do for my agent partners is have their clients truly be BICs. If you're in JOEL's system, they're butts in cars and they're ready to go. And then we're talking about negotiating contracts, removing some contingency dates just to make the buyer more attractive to the seller. Sunday morning, I was on the phone all morning with agents. I had one listing agent say to me, "Wow, you're amazing. I can't believe you're calling me on Sunday morning when we all want to be in bed. Regardless of whether or not we get this deal, send me your contact information. I'm going to send my buyers to you." So that was cool. So nice. Just being available is proving to be important.
So interesting you say that. To someone like me, it's a thing. I mean, it's a thing. You don't turn your phone off. You're always available. But there are a lot of people that would not have done that would have waited till Monday, or maybe waited till the afternoon, or just flat out just waited too long to really engage. Now, Sam, when you're talking about butts and cars or pre-approvals, tell me the conversations you're having with your agents. I've been saying this every week. You're on these calls every week, so you hear me saying it. I've never seen a more unique time since I've been involved in mortgage banking, which is a pretty long time, but I did get in when I was 10 years old. Where loan officers can flip the script with agent partners and really teach them how important it is for us to be involved earlier. Because for years and years, agents would think nothing of calling you at 5 o'clock on a Friday and going, "I'm showing my person properties in a half hour. I need a pre-qual or I need a pre-approval." And you're like, I know you knew about this 4 days ago. Like, why are you calling me now? What are the conversations you're having with your partners to get them on board and help? Let's face it. I know you know this. When the agents are helping, it's a heck of a lot easier to dock a file up front. tell people what kind of conversations you're having. What are you saying to get them to help you get those docs in?
So, important piece of that is that a lot of my business, and if I look at closed business last month, half of the deals that I closed were referrals from listing agents, some of them that I've never met. And so when it's a listing agent that you previously closed a deal on that's sending you business, you can own that because you're like, remember how I got that deal done for you on your sale last year? The reason I was able to do that is the client got me everything up front. I had everything approved and they were truly ready to go. And so when you've saved a deal, which we've just done a lot of saving deals, you then kind of own that agent. They're going to do whatever you ask them to do.
So, you're saying you're doing a lot of saving deals. Are a lot of loan officers coming out of their refi hidey holes and proving to the market how inadequate or dumb they are at putting purchase deals together? Is that what's going on? Or is it a lot of online lenders getting their hands on deals and blowing them up?
It's Fannie and Freddie changing condo guidelines and second homes. That's a lot of where I'm winning business because that is so much of my business. And then lenders not recognizing the changes that have happened and saying they can get a deal done, going about it the wrong way, and then it blowing up at week 3.
Now, Sam, tell me what you're doing when you get that opportunity. You've met a new agent on a save a deal. Tell everyone what you do, because loan officers are classic, just like real estate agents, one and done. Give me your money. I'm on to the next one. What are you doing to try to take that relationship to the next level when you get that opportunity?
So I call the agent, introduce myself. I let him know that we're going to get the deal done. And then super me being cheesy, we have phone chargers that are like little phone bank chargers, right? That have my name and phone number on them. And we send those out to listing agent. We send it on every deal, but it specifically works on these that we're rescuing. We send it to the listing agent with a handwritten note from me saying, be sure to keep your phone charged because we're going to keep you up to date throughout the process. And then we make sure we keep them up to date throughout the process. And then they're just wowed. And they have physical and tangible.
So everyone that doesn't know Sam, we did a mastermind in New Orleans. It's a couple of years ago already. And it was all top producers around the table, and people started talking about what they did throughout the process of the loan in the beginning. And Sam was talking and the whole table was writing because of the amount of things that she does throughout. But I want to seize on that, Sam, because that was great. So those of you that are on the call, John, you got your camera on, that are really doing the Joel listing agent system. Look what Sam did. She just took that up a notch. After you told them you're going to be in touch throughout the process, boom, by the way, keep your phone charged because I'm going to be in touch. That's a really nice add-on, but the key is you got to actually be in touch. So you can't just send it and not be in touch with them, but that's cool. So Sam, let's go down, because I was going to ask you anyway, because you do lots of fun little things throughout the process with your partners. Number one, right now, just give everyone a feel. How many B2Bs are you attempting to do a week right now? I'm
doing about 2 or 3 right now.
Okay.
Not what
What's your goal?
Doing or what I want to admit to.
5?
I mean, my goal would be 5. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone, you hear that? I was just texting with Sean Gaudreau this morning as well. He's got his camera on, and we were just talking about B2Bs. Everyone on this call, especially anyone that's worked with me or been through a crush group or works with me one-on-one, you're not doing 5 B2Bs a week right now. You're failing. You need to get out. People are out. People are doing stuff. Unless you're like in a super, super cold area and nobody's leaving their house yet, you need to be out. There's plenty of places that are open where you can sit outside. It is very, very important. It's crucial time right now. I'm telling you, these refis will be gone by June, July. We will be normalized in the fourth quarter into a real purchase market. You need to get out in front of all this and be in front of your people. Large lenders will be cutting their rates and dropping their shorts all over the place. You're going to feel like your company's rates are too high. The only way to overcome that, every single time I have a loan officer say to me, oh my God, so-and-so is beating me by so much, our rates suck. Every single time I say, where did you get the loan? And every single time it's a cold lead. Not one time is it referred by one of your best partners, because it doesn't happen. So if the relationship is there, you can hold even in a brutal rate environment. The only way you're going to be able to do that is through B2Bs. Sam, tell us, you do lots of funky, fun things. Give us your top couple of things you do before, during, and after, either with clients, the little fun Sam things that you do, mail, phone calls, anything. Give us your top 2 or 3 for people that you do during the process.
Sure. So when we take a new application, the first thing that we do is send the client a lottery ticket in a handwritten card that just says, in the event that this lottery ticket isn't a winner, we're excited to help you with financing for your new home. And people just love that. I think it's just the touch of getting something physical in the mail that they really love. And I say that all of these cards that I tell you are handwritten. They were handwritten once, and then they were gone through the printer. We don't actually handwrite them. We send out way too many.
Sam, don't give people your secrets like that. Don't tell people your secrets, Sam.
You can run through
then I'm
the
gonna
printer.
have to deal with a bunch of animals that I'm making write handwritten notes, Sam. They're all gonna be calling you, figuring out how to cheat. Go ahead. So lottery ticket.
You gotta cheat. So that's really people like that. And then I will say something that has drastically changed my business from people love this. I think it gets them bought to us, and it stops them from doing stupid stuff like applying for credit while they're shopping for a house. We have these really cool reusable canvas tote bags with the Colorado flag on them. So remember, half my business is people buying second homes, and the Colorado flag is just really popular in Colorado. So I have these really cool reusable tote bags. They cost $20 on Amazon, and we fold them up really nicely. We have printed and laminated the 10 do's and don'ts that we put a magnet on the back of for them to put on their fridge, although no one puts magnets on a fridge, but we do it. Yeah. And then we send them a handwritten note that says, we're so excited to be helping you with your home purchase. Remember, if you're going to purchase anything that's too big to fit in this bag or requires your credit to be pulled, call us first. And I have had a woman call me on the chair at the dentist saying, I have to have emergency work done, but they want to pull my credit and I have to finance it. Can I do this? It's really stopped people from, because it's something physical and tangible. They feel special because they got a gift. We wrap it really nicely, and it reminds them not to do something stupid. So that's a really big one. The other thing, we do a lot of stuff through the process, but the other one that I get a lot of feedback on is we send clear to close cookies, which was cool when people worked in offices, but people still appreciate it now. But it's a dozen cookies. They're individually wrapped. They're fresh baked. The idea was to send them to their office, because if you get a dozen cookies at your office, unless you're Joel, you're going to share them.
Oh, burn. But it's true. It's very true. Keep going. Yeah.
And so then people are like, oh my gosh, where did you get these from? And they're like, oh, my lender. And they're like, my lender never sends me these. We also send them to the buyer's agent and the listing agent's offices, which if you're at a real estate office, you're going to share your cookies too. So we get a lot of positive feedback about that.
Okay, awesome. So Sam, what are you talking to put your psychiatrist hat on? I got a lot of feedback that all loan officers love hearing this. What kind of conversations are you having with your agent partners when they are just almost in tears and having to write 30 contracts and not being able, they're having no listings? What, as you put them on the couch, like a psychiatrist, what kind of conversations are you having right now? What are you telling them? What things are you doing besides getting the buyers truly pre-qualified to sort of help them through this? Because agents, we talked about this last week as well. When I did that interview with Matt Newsy, it's actually funny. It's the podcast that just came out. I just sent it out again. And he said, Joel, everyone thinks we're just like, it's just layups for us. We're just hanging out, just bank printing money. He's like, I've never worked this hard in my life. He's the #1 RE/MAX agent in Connecticut. I literally have never worked this hard in my life. Everything is hard. It doesn't matter if you have the listing, it's still hard. What kind of conversations are you having with your partners right now?
Well, booze helps.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Liquor. Okay, perfect.
Liquor. Jams. But really everyone's going through the same thing. And I don't know that I have any great advice that I'm giving anyone other than I'm someone that can listen to what they're going through, that actually understands, versus their spouse at home who's not in the business and doesn't understand. just being an outlet helps draw you closer to them too, right? Because they can confide in you and they can talk about it. I don't know that I have any great advice to give an agent in the situation. We're all going through the same thing. It's a tough time. It's crazy. But I have found listening to agents has made our relationships grow closer.
And you know, I think we heard that last week and even the week before. You know, if you know that your job is to create a set of new best friends, your job is to create relationships, not do loans. Your job is to originate relationships, not originate loans. Everyone should write that down, put it in your face. You're not a loan originator, you're a relationship originator. Boy, there's no better time to get close with people than under times of stress and duress. That is when you get close. But you have to understand and keep your eye on the ball. And I can't, every time I hear a loan officer say this to me, oh yeah, I was just on the phone with this agent for like 20 minutes, he burned 20 minutes of my time, you know, so horrible. I'm like, what? You know, you're looking at this just totally the wrong way. You know, that should be deepening an existing relationship, or maybe even developing a new one. So, you know, that is part of your job. And you can't be thinking, oh, I didn't get a new loan or I didn't do this because I was talking to my agent partner for 20 minutes or 25 minutes and they were just moaning and groaning on and on about, you know, there's no listings, or they just got one listing, or they're, you know, they got their buyers have written 72 offers, or, you know, whatever is going on. Sam, what are you seeing? Are you seeing in your two distinctive markets, are you seeing more listings coming on in either or market yet?
Not really, no. I expect in Summit County, you know, we just have been getting a lot of snow. I skied on Sunday and it was like the best late spring snow I've had in a very long time. And in that market, we always see if there's good snow, people can keep their properties and keep them rented and they don't need to list them for sale. And so they don't. So I do anticipate we're going to get more homes on the market there. We haven't seen a lot more listings in Denver because where is someone going to go? Like if I list my house, where am I going to move to? There's not another house to move into. And we're seeing a lot of that. The other interesting thing in Summit County, second home market, I don't know who else is in a second home market, but people can work from anywhere. And so they are. And we have people, I just had people go under contract sight unseen on a $1.6 million house. They came out here with the inspection and they're moving forward, but writing offers sight unseen over list price just to be able to be here.
Was that a house or a condo?
It's a house. It's a townhouse.
A townhouse. Okay. And that's is that Breckenridge? That's yeah. Okay. So, you know, the agents that I'm talking to, they are saying the listings are coming. Now, are you, Sam, in your market, are you getting the contracts with the language that says, okay, you're under contract to buy my house, but I have 2 weeks to find a new house. If I don't, I can cancel this?
Absolutely.
You getting those? Is that 50% of the contracts? Is that like a lot of them?
I'd say that it's probably 75% of my primary resident contracts.
Wow. That is like unheard of. I mean, that is incredible. And how many of those, let's say there's, you know, 10 and we're talking 7.5, how many of the 7.5 actually kick out because they can't find something?
Probably 2, but what we're seeing more of is just they're extending it, right? So they're not finding a house, so they're extending it, or we're getting a lot of 60-day post-occupancy agreements with an agreement to move up sooner if available, but allowing 60-day post-occupancy agreements.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing what's going on. So Sam, where you are people starting to leave their houses? I mean, can you do B2Bs right now where you are?
So in Douglas County, where I am in Denver, they just got rid of they just backed out of the state's mandate. So everything's open at 100% capacity. You're still required to wear masks, but restaurants are back to 100% capacity. Gyms are. Summit County is tougher. There's a lot more restrictions there because they had to shut down they had to shut everything down, short-term rentals, everything for 2 months last year. And so there's a lot more fear there of that happening again. So they're a lot more cautious.
Yeah, I think it's people get confused about what's going on. It's all about hospital capacity. It's not necessarily about people passing away. It's about, is the hospital, wherever it is, do they have enough beds if people needed to come in and be there for 2 nights, and be fine, not pass away, they're fine, but do they even have a bed? Or are they going to create a situation where, you break your leg and you're in the ambulance and the hospital says you can't come here. You got to go to the next hospital because we're filled. You know what I mean?
And Summit County has a very small hospital. So that's a huge factor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, excellent. Does anybody let me just check the chat real quick, Sam. I want to check the chat. Let me see what we got in here. The chat, bigJOEL, Jams, of course, Michael Ullman, Jams, he puts that in there. Samantha, anything you're doing out of the ordinary to really, okay. So Sean Gaudreau, Travis, nice cookie burn. Anything you're doing out of the ordinary to really impress the listing agent or get them to send you business right away. Now, Sean Gaudreau is a hardened criminal. Okay, so he's going to ask that question. I'll slap him around later. Okay, because Sean knows that you don't want business right away, right, Sean? Yes, I'm hazing you right now. You want to establish a relationship so then you can actually make the ask or whatever. That's really what Sean's asking. Sam, besides the charger, is there anything else, and being super available, is there anything else you're doing? Because it is a good question.
So
see what he wrote?
I did. Okay, so Joel's gonna hate this, but this is true. So there are 2 agents that send me quite a bit of business that I've never ever met. I talk to them on the phone a lot. I've never ever met them. I rocked a deal on they were the listing agent and I rocked a deal. And since then I have earned so much business. So and they are both Summit County agents. Big difference because there's not a lot of competition for loan officers in Summit County. So they don't have loan officers going, hey, let's go to lunch. Hey, let's go to happy hour. That's just not happening. And they don't really want to do anything with me. They just want me to close their loans. I talked to them on the phone. One of them, I did her personal loan or did her assistant's personal loan. I closed 1 or 2 transactions a month with her all last year and this year, and I've never met her. Another one we've closed 3 deals year to date and I've never met her. So obviously I'm doing something to impress them, but I really think I'm just doing my job. I'm being available. I'm calling them. I'm keeping them up to date. And I do have the fortunate advantage that I'm in half my business is condos, and I work for a company that's being really aggressive on condo approvals.
Yeah, that's a big thing right now with the changes. Is there anything else in the chat, Josh? Am I missing anything else besides Sean being cheeky? Sam gets business day one. I want business day one. Okay, everyone, we've been talking about this every single week. Sam brought it up. Again, regarding your refis, lock, doc, schedule, and close. If you have any refis in your pipeline that aren't scheduled right now, shame on you. You're making your ops people crazy. Make sure that's handled. And right now, more than ever, you really, really, really have to do those B2Bs. You've got to get out. You have to connect. Sam is being a little modest. She's basically doing B2Bs over the phone. Because I know her personality. She's not just calling them and telling them about an appraisal. She's keeping them on the line for a little bit and talking about other things. So she is doing a partial B2B. She's just doing it over the phone. I know she is because her personality. But the bottom line is there's going to be a lot of loan officers getting out of the business, and there are a lot of agents in the business, and it is market share grab time. And the only way you can grab it is to continue to deepen existing relationships and develop new ones. But you have to do the work and you have to get out there in front of people. It's very, 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 very important. There's a lot of people on this call. You have not seen a market correction year before. And when you see it, you're going to know it, and it's painful for 3 to 4 months. You can reduce all of the pain by having very solid, deep relationships with your partners that transcend business and go over to like or even love. That's the only way you're going to get through that type of market, where you're going to have some lender no one knows literally be like 0.5% lower in rate than where you are. And you're going to be screaming and yelling at your company. And it's going to be someone doing anything they can do to keep their call center open and not have to lay people off. The only way you can overcome things like that is with deep relationships where your partner is helping you by telling the borrower, hey, look, you can do that if you want, but don't look at me when that thing blows up, because it's impossible, what they're giving you. Okay. So it's very, very, very important. The chat is open. If anyone has any more questions for Sam, best way for people to find you, you on Facebook? What do you want?
Facebook's good.
Okay, Facebook, Samantha Daly. Instagram is Sammy Antics. If you want to find her there. Sam is very nice and very helpful and likes to share. So if anyone has any questions, I'm sure she'd be glad to get back to you. Facebook, Instagram is the preferred way to find Sam. Everyone, thank you again. Love your feedback on the podcast we just sent out with Matt Newsy. And those of you that are looking for things to add value to your agent partners, those agent podcasts are great things to text or share with an agent partner, have them watch it, and then talk to them about it. Okay. It's a great way to differentiate yourself from other loan officers in the market. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Sam, thank you for your time, and thank you for being my special guest today. Everyone, I'll talk to you next Tuesday, and have an awesome week. Bye-bye.